This video is brought to you by my new album entitled Dougal's Treats. It's full of hummable melodies, bluesy riffs and the occasional bit of virtuoso flashy stuff as well. If you enjoy bluesy rock guitar with memorable tunes and solos that wail like a banshee, then check out the links in the description. The premium version includes all of the tabs for each tune, videos and jam tracks as well. Thanks for listening. Now on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now the title of this video, how I made sense of it all, or how I figured it all out, or something like that. I haven't quite nailed down the precise title yet, but it's going to be something along those lines. And what I'm referring to is, in my early days as a fledgling novice beginner guitarist back in the late 70s, early 80s, I quickly figured out that there was going to be a lot of stuff to remember. And if I could somehow make sense of it all, arrange it in some kind of logical manner, and kind of get it organised in my head, then it would make remembering what to do a lot easier, remembering which chords go with which other chords, and that's basically what we're going to be talking about today. I didn't know at the time that I was figuring out music theory, but that's what it is. I didn't put that in the title because any video I make about music theory always absolutely tanks in terms of views, so I thought I'd sneak this one in under that particular radar. But yeah, there is a particular phenomenon in music that is massively important, but many people regard it as the musical equivalent of cod liver oil. They know it's good for them, but they can't quite work out why. Well, I approached it from the opposite direction. I started discovering what it was and what it was useful for, and then learned what it was called. Here's some information. Okay, let's take this bar chord shape here. It doesn't matter which fret you play it at, but at the same fret, you then go to this bar chord shape, and then take that second shape and move it up 2 frets, and you get a nice pleasing little set of 3 chords. And if the fret we start at is the 5th fret, those 3 chords will be A, D and E. Let's list those over here. And what I decided to do at some point was to create a little bit of a daisy chain. I wondered what would happen if you started the same little pattern, but on the instead of the chord that we began it on, the A chord, the chord that we ended it on. So let's now do that. Let's go up to the 12th fret and play the same little shape again, which gives us, or same little move again, which gives us the chords of E, A and B. Then let's head down to the 7th fret and do the same little set of moves, which gives us the chords of B, E and F sharp. And then down to the 2nd fret, where the F sharp lives in that original shape, and we get F sharp, B and C sharp. Now let's take the C sharp, but we're going to call it a D flat this time, and that lives up at the 9th fret, and that will give us the chords of D flat, G flat and A flat. If we then take the A flat chord and start there at the 4th fret, that will give us A flat, D flat and E flat. Let's do the same thing again. Let's take the E flat and move that into the position where we'd be playing it with the first shape. That's at the 11th fret, and we're going to get E flat, A flat and B flat. Let's do the same thing again. B flat at the 6th fret will give us an E flat, also at the 6th fret, and an F at the 8th fret. Let's take the F down at the 1st fret, probably the first bar chord most of us learned, and that will give us the chords of F, B flat and C, and you can see how this is going. Let's take the C chord. That's at the 8th fret. We're going to get C, F and G with that little set of moves, and then the G chord, 3rd fret, that will give us G, C and D. Then let's take the D chord, and that's going to be up at the 10th fret, and that's going to give us D, G and A, and then look at that, we're back to where we started again, 5th fret with A, D and E. And this intrigued me, this kind of, this overlapping daisy chain of chords. What I had, of course, figured out, almost by accident, was something called the circle of fifths. And, well, let's just have a look at that now. We'll start on a C this time. So you can see that, you know, we're going to be going C to G to D to A to E to B to F sharp or G flat to D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F, and then back to C again. So yes, I discovered the circle of fifths. Now, I didn't know what a fifth was, let alone what a circle of them added up to, but I did know that certain chords seem to occur a lot together, as in that little 3-chord bar chord move that we began with, and that they all sort of overlapped. Each particular set of 3 chords, like A, D and E, would overlap with the next set of 3 chords, E, A and B. There was a 2-chord overlap, and you daisy chain them together, and eventually you come back to the place where you started. What this taught me was which chords occurred together in the same key. Again, did I have any clue what a key was back in those days? No, I just thought of them as sets of chords. Which chords go together in the same key and how those keys are related. And that is the basic premise, I would think, the most useful element of the circle of fifths. Yeah, that was a big discovery for me. It meant that I could, as I said at the beginning of the video, I could organise songs in my head and know which chords would go together. And it made the songs easier to remember. Meant that I could learn them quickly, and you know. And it also taught me that the neck in terms of bar chords, and if you know where your bar chord locations are, well, that's the beginnings of fretboard knowledge, and it kind of snowballs from there. And we're going to be tackling a few more of these in the coming weeks over, basically, I think it's going to be in the Wednesday slot, where we're going to be taking over from that home recording series of videos that I've been doing recently. Just little discoveries that I made and how I made use of them. So that's going to be a new series of videos. But that's it for today. That's how I discovered the circle of fifths. That's how I started figuring it all out and how I made sense of it all. And this is the way I think it's best to learn music theory, is to make some discoveries and then, you know, just from the product of a curious mind, and then, you know, learn what that's called, learn the jargon that is attached to it if necessary, if you want to, but doing it that way rather than kind of memorising a load of textbook jargon terms and then trying to figure out what they mean, which is the way it's often done. And you know, is I think what puts a lot of people off. But that's it for today, folks. Hope you found that useful and informative in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream tomorrow and every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and whatever else crops up. Basically, it's a cracking way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.